And I'm showcasing Luminar 4 and showing you the power that Luminar 4 has to enable us to get really creative edits. And today we'll be working on this image right here. This is the final result. Hopefully we'll come close to this result. I'm leaving a link to this image below so you can download it and work along with me, because that's a great way of learning. So without any further ado, let's get started. Well, I'm starting out here in Photoshop, but you could start out right in Luminar 4 if you wanted to, but this is my workflow, so I'm going to show you my workflow. So I went ahead and copied the background layer and put it right up here, and it says background copy, so I can work non-destructively. And I'm going to come up here to Filter and come to Skylum Software, Luminar 4, and we'll launch that and we'll get started. I'll be reverting to my notes from time to time just so I can remember what I did. Okay, because I thought this image turned out really nice and I want to be able to duplicate that for you. So, well, first thing we want to do is open up the color tool here. And let's see here. I wanted to cut back on the saturation to right around like a -45. And then the vibrance, I took it back to about a -0.18, somewhere around there. And the other thing I did was I wanted to bring some color out on these red parts of the bird right here. So I went into advanced settings and I went to the orange or not orange, I'm sorry, red. We need red here. And bumped up the saturation to around a 53, somewhere in that area. Just to bring some of that red up. And why am I not seeing anything happen here? Okay. Oh, because I did the hue. Oh well, I'll leave that mistake in. Don't make that mistake. 53. Now we're seeing it. I was baffled there. I'm like, what is going on? It's not working. Okay. And then luminance, I brought the luminance up to around 15. Just to brighten it up just a little bit. And then I went to orange and I thought, let's desaturate the orange a little bit, because I want this image to have kind of a muted effect to it. So I was around like a -35, somewhere right around there. That was our first step. And then I went to vignette, so we could draw some interest into these birds right here. So let's open up our advanced settings, because we're going to be using some things in here. But we're going to start out with the amount, and my amount here was like a -76. I put a pretty heavy vignette on this, like a -76, and the size I used was around a 40. And I didn't mess with the choose subject because I felt it was placed in a pretty good spot right there. And then I just brought up the inner light and brought it up to around, I think, a 6, just to draw some emphasis into our birds of a feather here. They're kind of fun. Next step is going to the creative section, but actually no, I take that back, going to the portrait section, because we have a couple birds here, right? No, actually we want to get the Orton filter. It does live inside of the portrait tab here. So let's click that and open it up, and let's go to the Orton effect. Now with the Orton effect, I use type 1, but I'll show you the different types here. And I used a decent amount here. I brought this up to about like 65%. So somewhere right around there. But look at that beautiful glow. And this is when the image really started to sing to me. I started really getting excited when I added this Orton effect. Let's open up the advanced settings here. Let's put on type 2 just so you can see the difference here. That's type 2. It's a little bit lighter, but I like type 1 here. I just like the effect that it's giving us here. And let's see the softness. I had my softness set to around 24. And you can see how it softens up the image, but I had it right around 24. So really play with these sliders because it really helps. And then the contrast, I thought it was a little too contrasty, so I brought the contrast back to, what did I bring it back to? Like a -40. Somewhere right around there, -40, and I was liking that. Oh, and then the other thing I did was I went to the edit the mask here, and I went to a brush, and I want to go to erase. And what did I do? The head, I took some of the effect off the head here. I brought the opacity to like 50%. roughly. Hey, and I'm right at 50%. How about that? And my softness is at 100%. And all I did was just painted over these heads here. Now I'll make my brush a little bit smaller. I just want to take some of that Orton effect off. Now I'm going to use my left bracket key, make that a little smaller, and just paint over the beaks here. Just like so. Make sure I paint on these guys too, on these red things. I don't know what you call them. If you know what it is, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what that is. And then on the eyes, I took it completely off the eyes, so I went ahead and changed my opacity to 100% and made my brush smaller and just took it off the eyes. Yeah, I'm still on erase and just took it off the eyes. And I was happy with that. Now let's toggle this Orton effect off and on. But look at that beautiful effect that it's giving us. So that's the Orton effect. After that, I went to the Essentials tab, and I thought, well, let's bump in a little bit of contrast into this image here. So I went to Light, and I went to Advanced Settings, because inside Advanced Settings lives your curves. I love curves, and I've done videos on those before. So check out my videos, and you'll find one on the curves, especially for the Luminar 4 software. So what I'm going to do here is make a slight S-curve, which will add some contrast to our image. So I'm going to come to this point right here in the more in the highlight area, pull that up slightly, and come to this point right here, which is in the shadow area, and pull it down slightly. Just a slight curve, but isn't that really nice? It just gives us a nice, beautiful pop of contrast, and it increases the color slightly as well. But I'm happy with that, and I think that looks good. And then lastly, I go to the Pro tab right here, and we go to another one of my favorites with Luminar is Dodge and Burn. So we're going to go to Dodge and Burn. We're going to click on Start Painting. And I didn't do any burning, but I did lightening. So I have it on the lighten mode right here, and I'm going to take my strength down to probably right around, 13 or so. And let's change our brush size. I need a nice small, I'm using my left bracket key, making my brush really small. And all I did was I picked out some feathers here. And just, and you can go over these a couple times and bring them up. But I like 13, and it lets me build this up a little bit. See, all I'm doing here is just giving these feathers that little bit of an artistic flair. Just lighten them up a little bit here. I'm going to do it on the other side too. But I just want to, these birds are so elegant and beautiful, and I just want to bring up some of that beauty. And I thought by just adding a little bit of dodging to these feathers, I could just, accent the flow, the beautiful flow of these feathers. Aren't they just beautiful? These birds are like amazing. Okay, now I'm going to come over to this side, and let's find some feathers that we can accent as well. Now remember, every time you go over a feather, it gets a little bit lighter. So you can hit it once, or you can hit it twice, or you can hit it 3 times if you need to. Heck, you can hit it 4 times. It's your world, as Bob Ross would say. You can do anything you want. Hey, you can hit it 5 times. Okay, so anyway, here we go. We're just accenting some of these feathers. And just that beautiful flow, I just love it. And maybe I'll hit a couple in here. Down here. Maybe down in here. Maybe I'll come back to this guy over here. Don't want to leave him left out, and give him a couple little hits. And let's go ahead and toggle this. See the before and the after. But it's just a nice little, nice little addition to the edit right there. Now let's click on our eyeball right here and see our before. There's our before, and there's our after. So just a really totally different look to this image, and I was really happy with the way this one turned out. I showed you this little trick in my last video, but if you type your F key, you can isolate your image to to a screen by itself. It just puts it into the full screen mode, and it gets rid of the panels on the side. So now you can really look at your image and say, you know, check it over and see if you really like it. And if you're happy, you can just, if you started in Luminar, you could just go ahead and close out of Luminar and everything gets saved. But if you're like me, I would type my F key again, and I would come up here to apply, click apply, and that will bring me right back into Photoshop, and it'll save all my edits into my image. And here we go. Hey, let's compare it to the one I did before, my original, when I was figuring out what I was going to do for this video. So here's the one we just did, and here's the other one. Almost the same edit, right? It's just the dodging and burning looks a little bit different. But anyway, this is the image we made, and I hope that you download this image and edit along with me. I think you'll learn a lot if you do. Now let's option click the background layer so we can see where we started from. So we started with this image, which was a beautiful image just by itself. And we ended up with this image right here. So I'm really happy with this. I hope you're enjoying this creative editing series. This is a lot of fun for me. I just love editing. I mean, that's, hey, the joy of editing with Dave Kelly, right? I love it. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon. And then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified about it.